Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah Sajad and I am back with yet another awesome tutorial for STYLY. STYLY works with Playmaker. If you want to add an interaction or you want to take more control over the workings of STYLY, you need to use Playmaker in Unity. Okay, although Playmaker supports the concept of global variables, STYLY at the moment does not support this phenomena, this idea. But we have a hack for that. So what we're going to do today is reference the object from which we want the variable, and we'll pass that reference of the object into another FSM variable, into another FSM object in which we want to access that variable. To clarify what I am saying, I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so first of all, let's just create two empty objects and let's name each one of them differently. Let's call this object 1 and let's call this object 2. Okay, so as you can see, these are empty, there's nothing inside them. So for visual reference, let's add a 3D object into them. And well, I added a cube in object 1 and I'll add a sphere in the other object just for more clarification. Okay, so let's just move the sphere object a bit to the right. Okay, now let's add an FSM to both of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is get the position of the cube object, and we want the sphere object to get first of all, we'll get the position, store it in the variable, and we want the sphere object to get access to this variable and set its own position to whatever the variable has. Okay, so this will prove that we are able to access the cube's um, position. Okay, so moving on. So for the object 1, what we're going to do is just name this position. So what we're going to do now is get its position. So we're simply going to search get position. Okay, so we're going to store the value of the position in a variable. So we could either store the value separately of its x-axis x, y, z, or we could just store it in a vector. A vector is a two-dimensional array. Basically basically it can be of any dimensions, but over here it's actually a 1D array, and we're going to store xyz into this vector. So the type of this vector is actually vector 3. So let's just name it position. So we have the position as a vector 3 variable, and we want this variable to update every now and then. So let's just get this into a loop. So we'll be getting the position and storing it in the variable position again and again, but since we know computers are really fast, so this action would be happening really fast. So what we're going to do is add a wait action. So what would this do is wait a second, then again and again get the position. So in the object 2, what we want to do is get the position of the object 1. So whoops, what did I do? Control X, Control V. Okay, so basically we want to get the reference of object 1, specifically the FSM and the variable. So what we're going to do is use FSM, get FSM variable, and as we know that the variable is a vector 3, so we're simply going to search for the action which can get us a vector 3. Okay, so we have this. So we're now going to specify the game object of which we're going to access the FSM. So we want object 1's FSM, and since the object 1 has only a one FSM component in it, so it wouldn't really matter if I wrote name or not, but what matters is the variable name. So we named the variable position similarly, exactly the same as the variable we initiated in object 1. Okay, so now we want to store this in a new variable. Let's call it new position. Okay, so we also want to add this so we can loop this action, this state. Okay, so like we did previously, we have this variable. Now we want to set the position, set position, and we're going to tell it to use new position, and we also want this state to wait. As I earlier mentioned, computers are really fast, so okay. So the reason I just pulled it downwards is, as you know, these actions are going to be executed from top to bottom. Okay, so everything is ready now. So just to give you a briefing, what's going to happen is that the sphere is going to move its position to that of the cubes. So that would prove that we are sharing the variables. Okay, so let's test it out. Okay, as you can see, the sphere has gone and it's actually at the position of the cube. So to show you what I'm saying is, we're going to move the cube object and you will see that the sphere is following it. So let's just do this. So as you can see, the sphere is following the cube. So that is the hack I was talking about. And now, even though we can't use global variables, we have a workaround to that, and we can simply use get FSM variable action and share the variables between two or more FSM objects. So I hope you found this tutorial beneficial, and for more tutorials like these, please do follow my channel and stay updated for more tutorials. Bye bye.